Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So if you watched my last video on how many points do I need to stay in a studio, a DVC studio for 1 week, that's what we're going over today. We're going to go over 1 bedrooms. So pretty much the same format. I mean, the same format is pretty much, I'm just going to be reading the amount of points, but I'm going to be showing you the different seasons, seasons 1 through 7 of DVC for 2022, and then going over the different resorts at Walt Disney World. And this, hopefully, if you are looking to purchase into Disney Vacation Club, this will give you an idea of how many points you need if you're looking to stay in a 1 bedroom. And that's why it's so hard to answer the question, how many points do I need? Because it really depends on when you want to stay and where do you want to stay. Because again, as I mentioned in my last video, staying at Riviera or Grand Floridian is going to be a lot more expensive points wise than staying at Old Key West or Saratoga Springs. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video as well is because DVC has just raised the minimum amount of points to be eligible for membership perks, or that blue card. And now it is 150 points unless you're grandfathered in. So you need to have 150 points direct in order to be considered a blue card member. And my understanding is if you are not a member of DVC and you are purchasing for the first time, my understanding is that you have to buy a minimum of 150 points. I could be wrong on that, but that is what I am hearing. So let's get into how many points you need. And one of the things is, if you are looking to stay in a 1 bedroom, you need more than 150 points. You are not going to be able to stay for a week in a 1 bedroom for less than 150 points. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got my spreadsheet here. Again, if I'm able to post this on my personal website, I will post a link below in the description. That way you can have this. And again, all this information is available to the public. There are points charts. They're out there. They're on DisneyVacationClub.com. Pretty much a lot of blogs have it as well. But then what I used for myself is the My DVC Points app. So editing Shannon here, after I posted the video about the studios, a couple people commented that they couldn't find the app. So I found out that the app has actually been removed from the App Store because it's being updated. So sorry about that. I didn't realize. I can still use it because I have it downloaded. I didn't realize it had been pulled from the App Store. I will continue, so make sure you're subscribed. So I will post a update in the community tab once it gets back into the App Store and notify you that it will be available. But they are working on it and it will be available hopefully in the near future. If you are looking to buy into DVC, you're a DVC owner, or even if you're just going to rent, download the My DVC Points app. It's completely 100% free, but it will tell you the point charts are logged into the app. And basically you just kind of say Riviera from December 1st to December 8th, and it's going to tell you how many points it's going to be. But then the best feature is this feature called Stretch or Splurge. And then it will compare every 1 bedroom and how many points less it's gonna cost you to stay at maybe Old Key West, or how many more points it's gonna cost you to stay at Grand Floridian. So it's a great tool, great resource, and it's 100% free. So definitely download that app. So let's go ahead and get started, and we're gonna start with season 1. And season 1 is September 1st through September 19th. And again, let me go over really quick the categories. So I'm only going over 1 category in each resort because it would just be way too boring if I did every single category. So Riviera, I'm going to be doing the standard. So basically the cheapest amount you can get into at a 1 bedroom. Old Key West, there's only 1 category. Saratoga Springs will also be standard. Animal Kingdom Lodge will also be standard, so Savannah View will obviously be more. Boulder Ridge is only 1 category. Copper Creek is only 1 category. Boardwalk Villas will be garden or boardwalk, mainly because those are the same amount of points, and those are the most rooms of 1 bedrooms are going to be in that category. Standard is significantly less points, but it's also extremely hard to get into, even if you own there, even at 11 months. So I didn't want to give false expectations as far as getting into Boardwalk. So we're going to be comparing the garden and Boardwalk views. Beach Club is only one category. Bay Lake Tower, the same thing as Boardwalk. We're going to be comparing the lake view because it has the most rooms, and standard, again, is just very, very hard to get into. Villas at Grand Floridian, it's just hard to get into Grand Floridian anyway, so we're going to be starting at the standard, and there's no 1-bedrooms at Poly, so we're not even going to go over there. So let's go ahead and get started. So again, season 1 is September 1st through September 19th. So Riviera 1-bedroom standard is going to cost you 220 points. So if you are looking to stay for a 1 week in Riviera in a 1-bedroom, you're going to need to buy at least 220 points minimum. Now, keep in mind that this is the cheapest, and this is the cheapest for 2022. Points charge change. So if you're thinking, okay, we always go the first week of September, we're going to buy exactly 220 points. Well, 2023, that could change, and it could now be 225 points. So now you're going to need to borrow. So if you're kind of considering, another good thing to do is to always buy a little bit more. A good rule of thumb is maybe 10% more if you can afford it, but buy a little bit more to give you a little bit cushion. I guarantee you will use them. Old Key West 1-bedroom for 1 week, that week season 1 is 157 points. Saratoga Springs is 159. Animal Kingdom Lodge is 157. Boulder Ridge is 199. Copper Creek is 199. Boardwalk is 195. Beach Club is 192. Bay Lake Tower is 222. Villas at Grand Floridian is 242. So the most obviously is Villas at Grand Floridian in a standard. From this chart, obviously a lake view is going to be more, but 242 points. So keep that in mind. Now let's move on to season 2. So season 2 runs from January 1st through January 31st, September 20th through September 30th, and then December 1st through December 14th. Now, this is a season that my family particularly travels in, especially for 1-bedrooms. This used to be the cheapest season, but it's also one of the most popular, especially those first weeks of December are like the most popular for DVC members. So now, when we first bought into 2017, 2018, when we stayed, it actually cost us more to stay during this week. Not as significantly more, but probably about 10 to 15 points more for a week. But I did, like I said, when I bought a little cushion, so it really doesn't affect us. But if I had bought exactly the same amount, we would have to stay at least, 1 less day. So moving on, we will go to Riviera 1-bedroom for season 2. It is 248 points. An Old Key West 1-bedroom, on the other hand, is 167. And I believe that is the cheapest for this category. So 167, I believe the Boardwalk standard is going to be, I think it's a little bit cheaper. It's about as much as an Old Key West, so keep that in mind. But for the most part, the one that's probably the most attainable is going to be the Old Key West 1-bedroom, 167 points. Saratoga Springs is 178. Animal Kingdom Lodge is 176. Boulder Ridge is 218. Copper Creek is 218. Boardwalk Villas is 213. Again, this is garden and boardwalk view. Beach Club is 211 points. Bay Lake Tower is 241 points, and Villas at Grand Floridian is 268 points. So you have between 167 points to 268 points. So you're staying on Disney property in a 1-bedroom, but 167 at Old Key West, and then 268 at Villas at Grand Floridian. Obviously 2 very different resorts, but that's why my family is very frugal, because we would rather have another trip and use those 100 points at another trip rather than stay at the Grand Floridian. And I'm sure the Grand Floridian in a 1-bedroom is spectacular, but I'd rather have an extra trip. That's our family. So let's move on to season 3. So season 3 is May 1st through June 10th, and then December 15th through December 23rd. Riviera is going to be 259 points. Old Key West, 181. Saratoga Springs, 192. Animal Kingdom Lodge is 188. Boulder Ridge is 232. Copper Creek is 237. Boardwalk is 234. Beach Club is 227. Bay Lake Tower is 257. And then the villas at Grand Floridian are 282 points. So again, there is 101 points difference between villas at Grand Floridian and Old Key West. So it really just depends on what works for your family. Okay, so now we're going to go into season 4. So season 4 is February 1st to February 15th, June 11th through August 31st, so pretty much summer, October 1st through November 22nd, and then November 26th through November 30th. Riviera 1 bedroom is 283 points. Old Key West, 197. Saratoga Springs, 213. So right there you see a big difference between Old Key West and Saratoga Springs. It's a good 16 points. Not a huge difference, but it's significant. Animal Kingdom Lodge is 200 points. Boulder Ridge, 250 points. Copper Creek, 253. So that's the first time we've seen a difference between Boulder Ridge and Copper Creek. Boardwalk is 255. Beach Club is 253. Bay Lake Tower is 275. And then villas at Grand Floridian are 308 points. So this is the first time we've gotten over the 300 mark for a 1 bedroom for a 1 week. And that is obviously a villas at Grand Floridian in a standard room. Okay, so now we're gonna go into season 5, and season 5 is just a week. It's that's actually only 6 days. It is April 24th through April 30th. And the Riviera 1 bedroom is going to be 300 points. Old Key West, 213. So right there you have a good 87 point difference between Old Key West and Riviera. Saratoga Springs is 225. Animal Kingdom Lodge is 214. Boulder Ridge is 262. Copper Creek is 264. Boardwalk is 264. Beach Club is 265. So as you see, different seasons with Boardwalk and Beach Club, one might be more expensive than the other. Bay Lake Tower is 289. And then the villas at Grand Floridian are 324. So obviously it's getting a lot more expensive to stay. And now we're going to get into the 2 most expensive seasons, and that's season 6 and season 7. So season 6 is February 16th through the 28th, March 1st through April 9th, April 18th through April 23rd, and then November 23rd through November 25th. So basically spring break, so keep in mind spring break, as well as Thanksgiving. So Riviera is going to be 321 points. Old Key West, 227. So it's almost, I think it's what, 94, 96 points, maybe, I don't know, I can't get my math, maybe 94 points difference between Old Key West and Riviera. Saratoga Springs is 227. So here, Old Key West and Saratoga Springs standards are the same amount of points. Animal Kingdom Lodge is 230. Boulder Ridge is 269. Copper Creek is 271. Boardwalk is 281. Beach Club is 269. So a good 12 points less than Boardwalk. Bay Lake Tower is 306 points. It's the first time it's gone over 300. And then the villas at Grand Floridian are 340 points. Now let's go over the most expensive season, and that for 2022 will be April 10th through April 17th, and then December 24th through December 31st. So obviously Easter and Christmas. Riviera is going to be 428 points. So this season already, to stay for this week versus a week in season 6 is already 107 points more difference between the weeks. So now you can see why it depends on when you're going to stay. Old Key West is 300 points. Again, 73-point difference between season 6 and season 7. Saratoga Springs is 309. Animal Kingdom Lodge is 280. Boulder Ridge is 343. Copper Creek is 348. Boardwalk is 362. Beach Club is 369. Bay Lake Tower is 389. And then the villas at Grand Floridian comes in at a whopping 468 points. Now keep in mind, this is only a 1-bedroom standard. So that is the most expensive, obviously, and if you want to stay in the Lakeview, it's going to be even more points, but obviously you're going to be spending Christmas at the Grand Floridian, so you probably got more money than me. So there you have it. That is the complete breakdown of all the different prices it would cost to stay, or the comparisons it would cost to stay points wise versus all the Walt Disney World resorts for DVC in a 1-bedroom. So you can see from the 468 points at the villas at Grand Floridian during Christmas or Easter versus a 1-bedroom and Old Key West for 157 if you wanted to stay the first 3 weeks in September. So it's a huge difference. You could basically stay like all 3 weeks in September at Old Key West, or stay a week Christmas, and it's going to at Grand Floridian, and it's going to cost you the same amount of points. So that's why it's so crucial that you really do your research as far as what your needs are. When do you want to travel? Do you travel in the summer because you're a school teacher? Do you travel, like for us, we travel during our son's birthday. That's what really makes a difference, because when you travel, and then where do you want to travel? And one of the things I say is, when we first started traveling, I wanted to stay at, certain resorts. And now as we go a lot more, I want to make my points stretch. We have become very, very frugal. One of our favorite resorts is Old Key West, and it's because we love it, but it's also cheap to stay there. Last year we were able to stay at Boardwalk, but we were able to get into a standard. I'm on a wait list this year. I don't think it's going to happen, so Old Key West it is, and we're perfectly happy with that. We'd rather stretch our points than splurge. And everybody's different. So that's what you have to find, what works for your family. And like I said, download that app. That's going to really help you, and then do your research so that you can figure out how much points work for your family. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.